Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, the sweeps keep on coming. The Yankees take 3 out of 3 up in Fenway, backed by strong starting pitching and some timely home runs, and including the first home run of the season of Jazz Chisholm Jr., who again was on his way to hit 50 home runs this season. We at least got the first one off the schneid there, and of course backed by some strong defense at third base by Mr. Ryan McMahon there. So an overall very positive 3 games at Fenway there, and of course Yankees getting some good news also on the rehab front, both with Garrett Cole and Anthony Volpe both taking some big steps as they work their way back to the Bronx as well. So a very satisfying, very pleasant Section 420 Talkin Yankees, the podcast there. So if you want some more of those pleasant feelings, make sure you subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your favorite podcast. Section 420 Talkin Yankees, the podcast. There's also the YouTube version of the show. Go to YouTube, search for Section 420 Talkin Yankees, and subscribe there as well. So the Yankees, after they finish off the Royals, sweeping that series, then going this long road trip, and start off against the rival Red Sox there, where, as I kind of mentioned previously, maybe if you looked at this matchup early on, you figured this might be a tough bumper in the road for the Yankees. But, of course, Boston struggling out of the gate to start the season, so Yankees catching them at the right time. And the Yankees sending up 3 pitchers who just, probably to start really hitting their stride right now. That'll be Luis Gil making his 3rd start of the season so far. Since he kind of had a little bit of a delay there, it was more had to do about the Yankees only needing a 4-man rotation really for the initial part of April there. But now moving back to the 5-man rotation. So Luis Gil with his 3rd start of the season, and it was the strongest, and seemed like it was like a 6th win in a row against Boston like that. It just seems like anytime the Yankees going to face the Boston Red Sox against Boone is going to try to find a way just to, whatever you got to do with off days and tweaking the rotation there, try to get Luis Gil into that game because had a strong start, pitched into the 7th inning, no-run ball there, getting some early offense from Giancarlo Stanton, who was an 0-for-17 slide at the time there. Gets the offense started, and the Yankees really never looked back after that and just getting things off on the right foot, followed up by Max Fried, who, hasn't been terrible, but the last couple of starts, giving up a couple of runs. I'm not saying he's been bad there, but you haven't really seen that real strong, dominating start really since almost opening day there against San Francisco. Well, saved it for this game in the second matchup. Of course, helped early on. He got a nice 3-run cushion there by Ahmad Rosario, putting the Yankees on the board early there and giving Max Fried enough room to operate there, giving the Yankees 8 strong innings, and again, backed up by a couple of strong defensive plays at third base by Ryan McMahon. But of course, the feature headline of these 3-game series was going to be Cam Schlittler, the hometown Massachusetts guy, making his Fenway debut against the team maybe grew up rooting against. And of course, we heard all these rumors and stuff that he was receiving death threats and all this toss and taunts. And of course, Cam Schlittler known for his dominating performance against the Red Sox in last year's playoff there, then knocked the Red Sox out of the postseason there. So you can understand why the Fenway faithful may not to be too kind for them, but Cam Schlittler pretty much, shook all of those potential nerves off, gave the Yankees also 8 strong innings. Okay, was huming a little bit, gave up a couple of runs, only one of them earned there, but 8 innings, 5 strikeouts, and the Yankees, trailing 2-1. Now, the Yankees did get on the board early. Again, I mentioned Jazz Chisholm Jr. hitting his first home run of the season, but he also led off a key rally in the 7th inning, getting on, followed by a hit by Cabarello, and that set things up, with the 2 Speedsters on the bag there. Cody Bellinger with a 2-run hit to swing a 2-1 Yankee deficit into a 3-2 Yankee lead, and then the captain, Aaron Judge, coming up after that as well, tacking on yet another run. Yankees with the 4-2 lead there, and that was enough for Schlittler, giving the Yankees 8 innings strong. Between Fried and Schlittler on back-to-back nights there, just really giving the bullpen a much-needed break there. And of course, Bednar coming on, able to finish off the save, and the Yankees take the sweep. All 3 games in Fenway. If you looked at this matchup a while ago, I said maybe you thought that this might be a bump in the road for the Yankees, but catching the Red Sox just at the right time as they've been struggling to start the season there, and that's what you'd like to see. And the Yankees now will move on after this 3 games in Houston, then make another stop while in Texas to the Rangers there before returning home. You might have thought that meant perhaps Ryan Weathers, who was removed from the team a couple of days ago, went on a paternity leave. He will now start one of the games in Houston. That is good news because, again, his last game against the Royals, that was the Sunday game. Absolutely brilliant, dominating there, and you kind of don't want to lose, the kind of that momentum between the Royals outing and the previous outing before that. You see him in more positive stuff out of the Weathers than not. It will kick off the first game, Will Warren versus, again, a familiar foe, Lance McCullers. Ryan Weathers will make that second start. That's the Saturday game against Mike Burrows. And then Luis Gil will get the ball again Sunday for the finale against Spencer Arrighetti. And speaking of other Yankees, Anthony Volpe got promoted to AAA, so making the next step. And in a recent game, did belt a home run, so I'd like to see that. And, of course, going to Garrett Cole, who last week made a start for a Double-A Somerset. Again, that was his first technical start of the season. Threw 44 pitches. Well, now guys usually get moved up. Well, he kind of got moved down to high A ball. I guess they try to keep him on a normal 5-day rest rotation sort of deal there. So this one he went down a few pegs to pitch for the high A team against the Brooklyn Cyclones. But had himself quite a decent start. Now for the first start he threw 44 pitches. This time the increases workload a little bit. Threw 52 pitches. 42 of those 52 were strikes, so showing some control there. Pitched 4 1/3 innings. Did give up 2 runs, 5 hits. One of those hits was a home run, but did strike out 4 and no walks in this game, and only had 1 walk in the last game. So far in 8+ innings in his rehab, he's only walked 1 batter, so it looks like he does have the control there. And in the most recent game, it wasn't all easy peasy. I did work out of a couple jams, including getting a couple guys on base there and stranding them, and then even after serving up a home run in the 4th inning, came back to strike out the next 3 guys in a row there. So seeing some more positive stuff from him. Now in terms of a timetable, nothing really set yet. You're probably not looking until anything till either super late May, maybe June, which again, if these other guys who right now in the rotation pitched away are, no need to rush him back right now. So again, good news for the Yankees, and of course good news with Volpe as well as he works his way back, and again reporting no problems with that surgically rebuilt shoulder he had that was kind of hampering last season. I don't expect him to come back here and also be like a 300 hitter, but you would hope with some time removed, fixing his shoulder there, he'll at least be better, hitting better than like the 210 he was doing last season. Again, he's going to get the inside track of the job once he's back, and we'll just see, the Yankees probably maybe at the part where he's a great check at that point just to make room for Volpe on the roster, and then Cabral will kind of be that jack of all trades guy and maybe come in for some late inning defense or late inning base running. So things clicking and falls, kind of all cylinders for the Yankees right now. And of course, we were having fun with the Met 12-game losing streak. Unfortunately, all good things come to an end. So yes, the Mets finally ending that snide there with a 3-2 victory, and then in the second game, and then finally taking the third game. So they get their first series in quite a long time there. But the losing streak for the Mets was fun there, but didn't seem like really the problems really are going to be solved there. Again, none of those losses, especially towards the late, had to do with Devin Williams. Again, it boggles the mind because they kind of saw him struggling with the Yankees, and they just thought they were going to throw him in the closer role there, and he was going to be fine there. So still quite a head scratcher, and hopefully they have some more losing streaks ahead of us, but we'll focus on the Yankees. We'll catch you next time.